Hello and welcome back to our first round United States Disc Golf Championship coverage brought to you by Innova Discs. We are in Rock Hill, South Carolina at the beautiful Winthrop University. Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling, together we make Big Sexy commentary.
It's true. You can't have one without the other to make Big Sexy. We got McBeth off to the hot 7-down start. Seppo with a double bogey shooting 4 under. And our Canadian compadres, or comrades, I should say.
Wait, you can go either way.
Yeah, sure. Our amigos from the northern country, they're hanging in. Yeah, I believe this is both of their first appearance at the USDGC.
Here we are on hole 10, par 4, 554 feet. This one is another stroke and distance hole with a drop zone, so there is that play to go for eagle. It's 474 feet to the pin if you go straight across, but a lot of players are going to play that layup to the left. We'll see if any of these guys are feeling like an eagle right now. Seppo is not. Seppo going with a standstill driver, maybe. No, maybe not a driver. Putter.
That 2 is so tempting. It's right there. Only probably 450 clearance to get there. Maybe less. Maybe 430 feet.
It's 474 to the basket. So to get inbounds, it's probably in that 440 neighborhood.
And McBeth has got a good shot. This is
going
going to be
got enough. It's got to. It's a
gonna
little left.
Yeah, it's going to be inbounds. He's going to be drifting about 40 feet away. But that's
it's a good place to be on a par 4 in one.
A scary putt, downhill, slope
Duncan's
green.
Going to town.
And this has got a really nice line. This is going to be in bounds.
Oh, no way.
No, that caught that short. That is so unfortunate.
That is tough.
Man, that was a good-looking line.
Duncan can officially crush, though.
Yeah.
And Andrew with a nice smooth shot.
When this hole was stroke and distance, you very rarely saw people go for the green. But now you get to advance to this drop zone, which is maybe 340 feet.
Somewhere in there.
And Duncan has pushed this wide.
No.
It does not come back in bounds. He will be throwing his 5th shot here. And this might be too safe. This might be ultra safe, too short.
Gosh.
Please. Oh, no. And that's what happens at the Winthrop Gold course. You know, it's a hole that...
Get in there.
This is looking good. This is a hole that you can break down in a couple easy shots, and I don't want to say it'd take a 3 almost every time, but you can relatively guarantee and assure yourself a par at worst almost every time if you play out to the left and then play the hyzer shot across. But, man, just like that, it can turn into an 8 or a 9 in the blink of an eye.
Perfect shot from Seppo, setting up an easy birdie.
There are so many holes in the course that can do that, though.
Yeah.
It just happens just like everything's going exactly the way you want to. You're playing the course.
Oh, this is a big mistake, perhaps. No, I think he made it.
Nice scoot there, but yeah, that was way too low. Not enough hyzer there for Andrew, but got away with it.
McBeth for eagle. Oh, and he just misses left and low. That putt could have put him on potential course record pace.
Yeah, 9 down through 10. Wow.
Big birdie putt there.
That's a scary putt. With that downhill slope and the elevated basket, there's a lot going on. And it always seems like there's just cars moving. There's a lot of distractions in this green. And it was a great focus there from Andrew. The number just gets bigger and bigger. That's really unfortunate for Duncan.
And another birdie for the card. We see a lot of green, but we're about to see a really unappetizing color for Duncan here. This is quadruple bogey 8. Hole 11, par 4, 734 feet. This one has a drop zone for all OBs. You can either take previous lie or drop zone. The drop zone is up on the right on that sidewalk at about 290 feet. Players kind of have the option here. You can either go really safe or really aggressive, and there's not a whole lot in between. You kind of either go big or you play for 4. So we'll see what these guys go with.
Yeah, the drop zone isn't that intimidating. It's only 291 feet. So any shots that go out of bounds go to that drop zone. The hard part about it is that it is blind and it's over the hill, and you can get a lot of rollaways on this green if you come in from that angle. But I do believe that getting aggressive on this hole isn't a bad play, as we see McBeth go for the big roller play here.
I think this is that Roadrunner.
And this is going to be great.
It needs to run. It needs to run.
Gosh, it's not going to make it back up the hill. Wow, so Paul will have to go to that drop zone. That's kind of how I want the roller to look on this hillside. I want it to drift down towards those trees to the right and then fade back up the hill or down the trees to the left and fade back up the hill to the right. But just lost steam there. This grass might be a little bit too thick.
Yeah. Oh boy, this looks not good. This is almost worse than out of bounds when you go in there.
Yeah.
In a bad way. Hopefully those are very spiky, like kind of holly bushes or something. And if you get in there a ways, there's like almost nothing but a little pitch out.
And Seppo playing this hole, breaking it down, playing for a par. It's a very senior move there for Seppo. Smart golf here, and these players, they know how big numbers can just come on 11. And
yeah. It looks like he didn't go in too bad.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to advance a little bit. Still a tough shot from there, though. And here's Paul from the drop zone going with the Firebird. That's kind of a lot of angle. Got to worry a little bit about a rollaway here. But he sticks it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Came in with soft angle. It looked like it was losing steam there at the end, which is what you really want for these kind of approaches.
Yeah.
Now, this has a lot of steam. This is the kind of shots that typically roll, but
he stays in bounds. He's well short, though. There's a putter shot right to just long of the basket. Beautifully done. And Seppo from a similar position. Pretty short distance left, and that should be pretty easy par for him.
incredibly smart golf from Andrew and Seppo.
Duncan, gonna just lay up. That's probably smart. And Paul with that roller, I think that might be that 161 Roadrunner.
Maybe just doesn't have enough weight behind it.
That's where I'm going. Tell me if you think this is crazy. I mean, do you think that matters? Like
I
the
think
fact
it does.
that it's that light, can it just fighting through the grass? Do you think it runs out?
I think you're absolutely right. I think the more rigid the disc is, no, and Andrew's not going to reap the benefits of playing the smart.
To me,
par
that's
play.
the most frustrating thing you can do in the game of disc golf is when you do take your foot off the gas and you're like, I'm outsmarting the hole, and then you have something like that happen and you still take a bogey. Because then I just feel like, well, why didn't I rip a roller?
I could have gone for the birdie and taken a bogey.
Yeah. That really hurts you when that happens.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can make a recovery there.
No, I totally agree with that. I think that if the disc is more rigid, if it's heavier, I think that it pushes through, continues to roll when things are kind of in its way more.
Yeah. Hole 12, par 4, 901 feet going downhill. This one's got OB on the left and right. And everything OB goes to that drop zone, which is about 350 going uphill to the pin. The green is tough here as well. You've got a slope right behind the basket, and there's some rollaway potential, and it's always a blind shot going for it, so it can be tough to stick it. This is one of those holes where you can really have that nightmare situation where you go a little short, then a little long, then a little short, and end up with that big, big number.
This hole has won and lost championships for players in the past, so this is definitely one that's on all players' radar when they're warming up for this event.
This is big, but is this too left?
Yeah, it looks like it faded out way too early for Seppo. That's heading towards the out of bounds. Yep, he's going to proceed to the drop zone.
He almost crushed it so far he got past it, but not quite. And Paul is way wide here. Is it out of the tree?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, he's all right.
You want to be right on the top of that hillside that Paul rolled down.
Right near the drop zone, so about 350 to go.
And like you mentioned, there is no place on this entire hole where you can see the green until you are on the green, essentially. It is a blind shot, and you really have to pick a disc and trust it. That's an ideal drive from Andrew. If there's one place where you can see the most of the green or the most visible basket, it would be on that right side of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And if this doesn't get out of bounds, this might go. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Duncan is just going through a little rough stretch. This is what happens out this course. It happens to every player. If you play this tournament.
Wow, so he's going for this, but it doesn't look like it had a lot of steam on it to me. Yeah, that's not going to do it.
Winthrop used to offer a bounty to the first player who went OB free, bogey free for one round.
It's not easy.
It's not an easy thing to do.
Seppo leaves himself outside the circle, coming back for par after the out of bounds.
Oh, actually, you know what? You could take a bogey, but you had to shoot under par. So OB free and under par that was a stipulation.
It would be so hard to go OB free and shoot over.
Yeah,
on this course. I mean, most of the difficulty is OB related. So,
I mean, you saw it with Andrew playing hole 11 perfectly safe the whole way through, and still ended up taking a bogey with a missed putt.
Mm-hmm. And Paul, perfect. Should be an easy birdie for him.
This hole used to be a par 5, and nothing has changed. Not the tee, not the basket placement. They just decided, no, today's golfer's too good.
Yeah,
it's a par 4,
and it makes perfect sense.
And it is. It's a true par 4. It's just a very, very difficult one. Great putt though.
Big time save from outside the circle with the downhill behind the green. That it was a bit of a death putt. Andrew's got a similar look, and he nearly makes that. He's worried about a roll, but I didn't see an OB graphic, so I think he's okay.
And Paul in for birdie, keeping this hot round going. 9 down through 12.
Wow.
Whew. Just trucking along. Oh, man.
Oh, shoot.
It's 2 holes in a row where Andrew threw some great shots, and then he's 4 over in these last 2 holes and really hasn't thrown a bad shot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hole 13, par 5, 999 feet. This one you want a big drive. It just has to stay to the left of the bike path there. Actually, the path itself is inbounds, so you could be on the path as well. As you get to this shaded area with a big drive, then your next play is either, am I going to go across the parking lot and play for eagle, or am I going to go around the tree and land in the landing zone on the safe side of the parking lot and set up a birdie attempt? Seppo might be a guy who looks to go to that island in 2 shots.
Well, he's the only player last year to birdie or to eagle this hole in the long position, and I believe he also eagled it in the short position. So this hole has got, or Seppo's got this hole down.
Paul's going way right. I think this has enough to get back, though.
Man, that's when you can tell a player's in the groove. I mean, they're just trusting a disc out over at OB the whole way.
Yeah.
Hyzering back into that perfect landing zone. That should set him up. If he wants to go around the tree or play short to the second landing zone, it should be no problem from there.
Seppo going big as well.
That's an eagle play. That is a drive for the player that is going for the green in 2.
Right there near Paul. Big shot. Probably, both of those are probably 450 feet.
Yeah, and so actually to get to the green, the better angle is actually slightly further left. So Seppo's actually in a better spot to go for the green in 2 than Paul.
Pretty safe shot here, staying way away from the OB. Andrew also, this is too safe. This might find the woods.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty wide fairway. To miss this one, that is not good. And yeah, you can see that's to even get to a place where you can go for the green and on your.
Oh, no way.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, that is a terrible mistake there. No reason to push it that close.
Yeah.
This is a nice looking shot. Hopefully catch the path and slide.
Yeah, catch it a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Give an extra 30 feet or so, and that should give him a pretty good angle to attack the pin for his birdie.
Seppo going across here. Big shot over OB, over 400 feet. Uh-oh.
And that is going to be in that no-man zone, I think.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
Gosh.
Oh, That's never happened.
That is fantastic. He lands on that little bubble.
That is the luckiest thing that can happen. That's unbelievable.
And Paul's going across as well. Is this leaking a little left? It is, but they're both on the island. Safe, easy birdie now.
Wow. And this is the fourth hardest hole, I believe. We had the fifth hardest hole on 12, and this one coming in at a 5.54 average. And Andrew, wow, when the wheels are falling off and you get aggressive, that's when Winthrop can really strike. But this has got enough angle, but is not going to have enough steam to skip over that green.
And now what does he do?
He's going to have to play from the same exact spot because you do proceed on this hole to the last place that you were in bounds, but he just threw straight out of bounds, so he's throwing from the same exact spot.
Oh my gosh, this is OB as well. And this could be double digits. This is going to be a big number.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going to go for the island again. Please skip.
It's just flattened out. Oh, no.
Please.
Can you get that Seppo love? Yeah. And this is why this whole average is such a high number every year.
This is why, despite you viewers at home wishing you could come play Winthrop Gold, and if you get the chance, do it anyway. But
yeah, for sure.
Andrew's better than you are, almost certainly. and man, is it abusing him right now.
Yeah, it's tough to see it happen, but it's the reality of this course. You know, it just promotes these incredibly high numbers, and I mean, he's got, I don't even know, 40 feet for
a lot.
A 10 or 11. I've lost track.
Look at Seppo's coming inbounds to that spot. I mean, so fantastic. Off the tree and just finding the littlest little random bubble.
And we actually had a short pin right in that neck, right over there years ago.
Almost a harder eagle than the longs.
Oh, it was.
How are you going to stick it there?
You can't get approach there, and Seppo shows exactly how to do that.
All right, Andrew, make this. Every stroke matters.
Yes.
That's so well done. I mean, obviously things are going terrible for him. Looks like it was a 9.
It was a.
It said quadruple.
It said quadruple. So
we might not have a graphic for what comes after, what comes higher than quadruple. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh no. And the wheels are really coming off for these guys right now. It's so tough because you're playing with two superstars. You're in front of the cameras. What?
Winthrop giveth, and Winthrop immediately taketh away.
That was a terrible spit out. Straight to the pole and back at him.
And Paul just trucking along.
Yeah, wow. Hole 14, par 3, 413 feet downhill, playing hazard rules. If you're left of the sidewalk but not on the green, you're going to play with a penalty from where you lie. There also is OB if you go long into the road. Most common play here is big backhand hyzer or big forehand hyzer. Either way, you could even go straight mid-range, which Seppo might do, actually. Seppo's that kind of guy. You gotta love the McBeast going to a forehand here.
Well, if you got it, this is the hole to do it on. And that high stall play.
Really good.
Yeah, if you've got the distance for that, that's the way to do it. It comes in the green with almost no steam. And even on this hillside, which wants to roll the disc, if it's coming in with almost zero spin at that time, it just wants to sit down.
And Seppo is going to go with a big hyzer. All you got to do with this shot is not land directly on the path.
Yeah, and we saw that happen to Nico in the 2010 USDGC 2 times in a row. And look at that. Hits the cart path, and that's the result.
It's gone.
It could. No, it's trying to roll back, but this is a hazard, so Seppo will proceed to where he is currently, but putting for a 3.
Duncan, big forehand. This is going to be pretty nice. Maybe a little right of the basket.
A little short, little right, and catching that. And you never want to hit that cart path, really, no matter where you're driving. If you're coming with hyzer or sidearm, you never want to hit that path.
That path has a funny reaction. I hit the path with my forehand, and it skips left.
What?
It's happened to me a lot of times. Like I come in real high with the Excalibur, hits the path, and I end up left of the path.
I do know one year that there was a European that skipped off the path into the basket, even when it was elevated.
I think it was a Norwegian.
A Norwegian, yeah.
Seppo for the par, a little too high. He's going to have bogey at best.
And Andrew stops the bleeding on hole 14 with a par. And Duncan not feeling the putt right now after that pretty egregious 3-putt on the prior hole. Paul is on fire.
Yes, he is. An incredible pace he's setting right now. My shot hit that path and jumped left, and I called it as it was happening. My group was like, how do you know that? And I turned around and said, this is my 45th time playing this hole in the tournament. Like, I've hit this path a few times. Like, it's crazy to think about, but... Hole 15, par 4, 539 with the triple mandatory. This one is a tough one. These guys are going to go with a low backhand shot, looking for a big skip to the left, try to navigate underneath the mando and get up near these trees to set up kind of a left to right moving shot, either putter or a forehand into a very well-guarded green. This one is so tough. If you're short and right, you have almost nothing. You'd love to get to that kind of long left side. You have a little bit more of a putt from there.
Traditionally just one of the most demanding holes on this course. It's so difficult. And once they added this triple mando, it just added such a different element to this hole. So demanding, so accurate.
And Paul is not gonna miss it, but he didn't quite make it. That's not what he's looking for, but it's a good result that it doesn't miss. No penalty. Is it too high? I think it was. Over the top of the mando.
Wow, you rarely see that.
Landed in a great spot, but it doesn't matter now. He's got to go back to a drop zone, and realistically, there is no possible way to save par from this drop zone. It is a 5 at the absolute best.
Don't really like the drop zone. I think that it's a tee pad that's in the ground already, which it's like, it's just, I don't want to say lazy because they do an incredible job running this tournament. I mean, look at everything around you. The details are all immaculate. It just seems like it's just too easy of a drop zone. I mean, in terms of not picking a better spot for it. They want it to be punitive, but it's just overly so, I think.
That hits the trees, and that's really all you're looking for from there. You just try to throw sort of a hope shot. Paul going to go forehand roller. Again, and he really has zero birdie chance from that place, but that's a good execution. He should have an easy par. And Seppo, again, probably, lucky not to miss the mando, really. He's there. He's able to get up and maybe make par.
Oh.
And that's burned into the ground.
I feel like Winthrop basically has two types of holes. There's holes that average right at par, that are those tough par 3s and some of those really nice par 4s. And then there's holes that average way over par. And this is in that latter category.
Yeah.
Averages 4.35 is just because it's such a demanding 3. And you can get those really big numbers with missing the mandatory. And it's the only out of bounds to speak of, but you see so many players drop that shot off the tee.
Yeah, you just need that perfect tee shot to have any hope.
And Andrew from 60 feet with a laser run.
No way.
And that, you know what?
That's the best putt by far that we've seen today.
And the quadruple bogey that he took on 888, well, actually, formerly 888, it's just like immediately, that's just erased.
Yeah.
This place is just special like that. And hands down, the trickiest green to putt on. As you can just see, these Creighton Myrtles.
Yeah.
They are scattered all over the green, and really the only place on the course where you really need to practice your straddle putt, if that's not what you traditionally, that's not your traditional style. And since making that great putt on hole 7, Andrew has had a tough time.
And wow, McBeth at 11 under. These guys at 9 over. They're going to have to be careful that they don't end up, as over as he is, under as hot as he's playing right now. Hole 16, par 3, 391. This one has hazard rules as well, kind of hazard wrapping around the entire green. So you can go straight at it with fairway driver or even mid-range if you're a big power player, or you can go forehand out around the outside. Just got to make sure you get that left to right correct, or you're going to be putting from hazard, likely taking a bogey.
And that straight play has opened up over the years. There used to be some prominent branches that have fallen down or were taken down, opening up this straight line to the pin. The scary part is when it drifts off to the right, there is that hazard.
No way. That just cleaned it. I think he's in bounds.
Yep.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Old school McBeast challenge destroyer.
Oh, and this has got a lot of angle. It's going to need to get a forward skip to get up in the green. Oh, or he just has more power than I ever give him credit for, and he's 25 feet away.
That's perfect. Hyzer the whole way. Get it out wide. And skip it home. Nicely done.
Never looked like it was wide enough to me, but somehow got through those branches and got the forward skip he needed up there for a putt.
Seppo going with a roller.
Interesting play. I like this line.
Looks kind of quick.
But it's flipping enough to
it's
curl.
Coming back around again.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was in. I thought for sure it was in.
Wow, that is surprising. I did not know the out of bounds was actually that close to the circle. That's
It's very close.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Seppo. Really good looking roller inside the circle at one point, then curled back out. He'll have a putt from about 35 feet for his par. All right, there in the corner. And the really tricky thing about this hazard rope is you cannot move that rope when you putt. So you have an awkward stance when you're standing like that. Do you straddle your foot over it? Do you putt with your feet together? And it's always awkward.
Just low for Andrew on his birdie attempt. And Paul's looking to go minus 12 here. Wow.
It's just playing disc golf. He's playing less disc golf, which, I like disc golf. I like to play a lot.
Yeah.
But I prefer to play less.
Yeah.
Like Paul does.
Seppo with a bogey. A couple of pars there. On to one of the signature holes, hole 17, par 3, just 249 in the A position, but so precariously tucked into the corner of this green, almost no space to go for the pin. A lot of room on the right side if you want to bail out. If you miss this island, you're re-teeing, and you're re-teeing right away. Nobody else in the group throws. You just got to go back to your bag, grab a disc, and hope to correct for your mistake. Let's see what Paul's going with. I believe Innova. And this, to me, is such a gutsy play, going right at the pin.
He said hit the basket. He knew he had some steam on it, but, man,
you couldn't do it any better.
Can't do it much better than that, no.
This looks like a mid-range. Oh, this is so low. Needs a miracle skip. Nope.
Surprisingly, this is only the second hardest hole in the course. I was surprised by that. This is traditionally the highest scoring average hole on the course.
Just because of this right here.
This is what
blows
happens.
up on you so quick. A lot of birdies, but also a lot of 8s, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. I know what an 8 feels like now.
8 is kind of the get in. No.
Oh, just over the edge.
8 is sort of the theoretical maximum anyway. I know some players did do worse than that, but after 3 misses, you do move up and have about a 45-foot putt.
I'll give it 60.
60, maybe 45 from the other. You would know better than I.
Yeah, it's about 60 feet.
And if you run that and go out of bounds, then you could find a 9. But that really 9, you can't do worse than 9.
No. And Seppo with a really Low but aggressive line here, skipping to the fat of the green.
Perfect shot.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that difficult to play that shot. Hyzer sidearm out to that side of the green if you have the forehand, but it's that greed to go for that birdie. It just sucks you in, and next thing you know, you've got a 60-foot putt for 7.
Don't roll. Okay.
And Paul.
Another birdie, moves to 13 under with 1 to go.
Goodness gracious.
And you might hear it in our voices, but the Big Sexy commentary team did take a whopping total of 15 shots to complete this hole. You would say it's a forehand-friendly hole. Some people have even said we're decent at forehand.
Yeah.
But that just illustrates, how difficult it can play. You miss it once, you go to a different disc, something weird happens. I've played this hole many, many times. I've birdied it many times. But I've also taken some big numbers, and unfortunately for us, we both blew up on it yesterday.
It'll get up and get you.
It will. Hole 18 for these guys, par 4, 647. Mandatory tree at the top of the hill must be left of that. The entire wood line on the left is OB. The entire right side is OB. Then you've got a big uphill. Then you got the mandatory tree. Then it wraps around down to the left, towards the water, off a cliff, 50-foot tall basket.
Yeah, when you have a slope like this, might as well be 50 feet up. You might as well just lay it under the basket and then get a ladder to tap it in.
Yep. Get like one of those cherry picker trucks, get up there 50 feet and tap her in.
Sure.
Paul going pretty big here. This is a little scary, but how it's drifting down.
About that?
I thought it was going to go more left, but was it a mid-range?
I would assume, because that thing just held straight.
Went so straight.
Unbelievable. Man, you could be, well, personally speaking, I was 7 down going into 17, and I knew my round was not made yet, just because you have the 2 hardest holes in the course coming up. And that's for every single player. There's never a comfort zone. You can never step up to these last 2 holes and just think, I'll just play them for par. It's not that easy. It's just so tricky.
Look at this roller play.
What is this guy, crazy?
He might be crazy.
Oh, my God, what a shot.
That is a monster shot.
That's up there with, and not quite as far as
the group ahead of him.
Not quite as far as Eagles PD last year, but that
is crazy.
Just as crazy, if not more ballsy.
This needs to finish really hard. No, that's going to stay OB.
Mm-hmm. Does that proceed? Okay,
no,
you go where
drop
you
zone is just for the missed mandatory.
Okay.
This is a super difficult shot. I think this is going OB. He did not get that over enough.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to find the woods.
It's looking like a best case scenario 6 for
Andrew.
And
this needs distance. He doesn't get it. P. McBeth, chance to go 14 under. What's he going to do here? It doesn't look fast enough.
Just didn't quite get that skip. He tried to give it some angle, but no, you lay that up.
If I'm Paul, I'm laying that up.
Yeah.
He's bogey free to this point.
No, you don't
need to mess with that. You're almost assured the tournament lead. I mean,
yeah, well, for sure. And Seppo.
No. Oh, that huge drive, and then to do that.
It looked like he got a counter skip. It had angle.
Unlucky.
Just did not skip down the.
Oh my gosh, that was a horrible shot. I'm sorry to say it, but that was really.
No need to even bring the edge into play, and that's. I mean, after all that you've gone through, he's only 20 feet away, but that's a kind of a puckered 20-footer there.
Yeah, it is. And Paul smartly lays up minus 13.
Phenomenal.
88 preliminary rating.
Wow. Which doesn't matter because ratings don't count on this course.
Yeah.
And Seppo, giving that a run, he's going to have to drop to 2 under with a solid start on the front. Just didn't quite pull it together in the back 9.
Quadruple bogey, moving to plus 18.
And I believe he was he even on the front 9?
I don't remember.
But just a heartbreaking, devastating back 9. And hopefully you learn from that. This course is full of life lessons.
Yeah, and you got 3 more rounds. You know, you can just come back and attack.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking forward to doing.
And McBeth is just looking to keep the gas applied with a 13 under starting round, clean round all the way through, hard to do.
I believe he's the only bogey-free player, nearly OB-free, just the 1 out of bounds, but he saved it fantastically. Here is our leaderboard. Paul McBeth, Josh Anthon, Zach Melton, James Conrad getting a little bit of separation. No players at 9 or 8. Second card, bunch of familiar names. We're going to bring you both cards here at JomezPro. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. We will be back throughout the week bringing you lead card coverage. Big Sexy signing off.